But I wanted to acknowledge, and I'm sure you're out there watching, and when we get the recording off to you, there'll be others that probably are going to say, yeah, that's me. There are people right now, based on what we said at the top of our time together, Sharon, who are feeling invisible at times, are feeling stuck, are feeling a lot of despair because the process is taking a long time, or they're just not making the progress that they expected and really do deserve by this point, which is to turn, a recruiter noticing you into an interview, and that interview into the right offer. What would you say to them if they're stuck there and wondering, what am I missing? What do I need to reassess? How do I regroup? What would you say to them?
You got to ask the right question. I mean, I think we personally we assume that what we have to offer is of value, right? But if you never ask, so how long will this process take? Like, how many interviews do you anticipate? Is there anything that I said today that would be of concern to you to take me to the next step? All those things. And if you do get a turned down notice, I mean, literally trying to say, can you help me to understand the why? Now, you're not always going to get an answer because people are worried about being sued. I mean, and that's a real thing because sometimes employers don't want to say anything. They'll tell me the real story and then they don't. One of the things and sometimes it's really hard, but I try to lovingly be candid. I kind of consider myself a velvet hammer because I will say, can I be candid? And I will tell them, I had a gal the other day I was interviewing for a VP of IT, very, very qualified on paper. She said, kinda 100 times. And I finally stopped her and I said, can I be honest with you? And she goes, yeah. And I said, before you go out and interview, you got to get your mind out of kinda. Because every time you say kinda, you lose my confidence. Like,
Mm.
I don't think you have it. You have it, you just aren't projecting it. So, kind of that, I mean, practice interview. I'm not kidding. I practice like my negotiations with clients and things. I have practiced it with Claude. I'll say, okay, I'm going up against these people, and here's what the position is. Role play with me. I got to tell you, they kicked my butt. And then I now evaluate what I didn't do well and what I did do well. And then I think about like, okay, so practice interviewing because that first interview is, I mean, sometimes it's a telephone interview, so they can't see you all of that, but that cadence on how you speak, clear of thought. I mean, practice that because that's what gets people excited about bringing you in for the next round. And, if I had a million hours in a day, I'd do it with everybody who's on here because to me, that's the fun part, obviously. But if obviously there's one of me and a bunch of you, but find somebody or Claude and just do that or Gemini or I mean, I always say Claude because I use Claude, but go back and forth because the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. And ask them right out, ask Claude, what did I not do well? Because he'll tell you. So I recommend that. Use AI to your advantage. I hate AI, not gonna lie. I'm not a technology person. I'm a people person. I've been in this business 30 years. I had a Rolodex and a phone. I didn't even have internet. So
Oh, you need it, right?
technology doesn't matter to me. But I do use it to my advantage when it's there.
Yeah. And I would add to that, I mean, there's a lot of great reasons to use a Claude, a Gemini, a chat. But let's not underestimate the power of a person, right? Someone who's got life experiences, someone you can relate to, someone like a Sharon, but also the folks I work with at ExecuNet who have been recruiters, are recruiters, CEOs, have been on both sides of the hiring table. So if you're looking for someone to talk to listen to you, to relate to you, I would definitely check out the link that Will shared behind the scenes because that's what we're here for. We understand and we're empathetic and we're compassionate, but we also know a lot about how to move forward and find the role that's right for you through the people that matter.